Tell me what he did wrong. What code, what transportation code has he violated? Give me something. I'm going to revoke the bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? If there wasn't a violation, I would kick it all day. But I mean, Roberto Castillo, come up.
I've been in Montgomery County this morning, that's why I'm so late.
That's okay. You're not late. Good morning, Mr. Castillo. Sir, you stand charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
So on January 1st, 2025, at approximately 4 a.m., the officer observed a vehicle traveling eastbound on FM 2920 in Harris County, Texas. The vehicle pulled into a parking lot and then exited the parking lot onto another roadway in an attempt to avoid the officer's patrol vehicle. The officer initiated a traffic stop on Tomball Parkway, and upon contact with the defendant, the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, the officer observed glossy red eyes, slurred speech, odor of alcoholic beverage, and the defendant stated he had a six-pack of beer approximately 4 hours prior. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 6 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and refused breath. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
What was the stop for?
Allow me to read the DIMS, Your Honor, to see if he specified. So according to the officer, the vehicle pulled into a parking lot and then exited in an attempt to navigate away, and the vehicle crossed through the parking lot onto another roadway. And that appears to be all the officer put in the DIMS.
Tell me what he did wrong. What code, what transportation code has he violated? What ordinance, statute? Give me something. I mean, I can give you a little bit of time if you
Give us
want.
more time, Your Honor, so I can look at
Can you
this.
give me 5-10 minutes, Owen?
Certainly, Judge, I have other cases in buildings.
Okay.
I agree with the court.
I don't-
Even if they allege that he was attempting to, if he cut across, there is a violation for cutting across in order to avoid a traffic control device, but they didn't allege that. All they've got is him turning into a parking lot and then back onto another street. So that's not a law violation.
It's like 10 minutes and we can.
Yep, go to it.
Thank you.
All right. Just take a seat. Don't leave. And then when you come back, we'll finish.
I'm back on Mr. Castillo, PC here.
All right.
Yes, Judge. So in
Enlighten
regard
me.
to the crossing the parking lot, it was the officer's understanding, I spoke with the officer, that crossing the parking lot is a violation because he crossed right through, and the traffic code that we found is transportation code.
Hold on. Did you take a look at this?
Judge, I'm very familiar with the statute they're quoting.
Okay, what is it?
It's section 545.423. And it's crossing property, and it states that an operator may not cross a sidewalk or drive through a driveway, parking lot, or business or residential entrance without stopping the vehicle. And the officer said that he crossed, according to the DIMS, he crossed straight through onto the public roadway. And speaking with the officer, he repeated that as well, saying that he was at a slow roll and he just went straight through upon noticing the officer. And that's whenever he performed the traffic stop, as he crossed that parking lot.
An operator may not cross a sidewalk or drive through a driveway, parking lot, or business or residential entrance without stopping the vehicle.
Yes, Judge. And as
He
the
never stopped at all.
correct, and as the DIMS states, the vehicle pulled into the parking lot and exited the parking lot in an attempt to navigate away from the patrol vehicle. So he just entered and exited. He didn't stop.
First, Judge, that statute requires that you're doing it for the purpose of avoiding a traffic control device. There's an additional element.
Really?
Yes, Judge, if you look at the statute.
Hold on. There's only, it says, so that what I read was A. B says an operator may not cross or drive in or on a sidewalk, driveway, parking lot, business, or residential entrance at an intersection to turn right or left from one highway to another highway.
In order to avoid the traffic control device.
Correct, but that looks like it's an or, not and. or, you know, unless you show me, unless you can show me differently. I mean,
It is an order, Judge. I agree with that. However, may I address another issue?
of course.
If you listen to the DIM summary, he says he intended to stop my client to begin with. Then my client, in order to evade him, rolled across the parking lot. There's no explanation as to why he started attempting to stop my client in the first place. I recognize, of course, that police have many and multifarious functions, but activating emergency lights and attempting to stop somebody for some unexplained reason.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, Your Honor, the DIMS reads
It's certainly interesting.
It reads different because it says while the officer was patrolling, he observed the vehicle, and it immediately goes into how the vehicle pulled into the parking lot and exited in an attempt to navigate away from the officer's patrol vehicle. And after that point, it says the officer initiated his patrol lights. So he wasn't attempting to stop him at the point that he entered the parking lot. All the officer articulated was that he was attempting to navigate away from his vehicle.
I mean, what it sounds like to me is he sees the officer and just tries to get away. And then the officer sees him do something that's maybe a violation of the transportation code and pulls him over right there. Had he kept driving and just gone straight, perhaps it would have never been pulled over. But the virtue of the fact that you go and do that, you know, if there wasn't a violation, I would kick it all day. But I mean, you know.
May I address one other very shortly?
Please.
The way he says in his DIM summary, he says, the purpose for crossing is to evade me. He is thinking this man is trying to evade me. And that certainly implies that he was trying to stop the defendant before the defendant started and turned into the parking lot. Otherwise, why would he say he was trying to evade me? In other words, if he's consciously thinking this man is evading me, he's doing something that would lead the defendant to evade.
I agree with you.
So without showing as to why.
I agree with you. But the fact remains is he went through. And it looks like he may have indeed violated that part of the transportation code. Now, pull the video. If the video shows you something differently, come back and we can do PC again. You know, I'm always happy to revisit it, but perhaps if he would have kept going and not done anything, not done that, he wouldn't have gotten pulled over. If he would have, and nothing had done, there had been no errors, then you know what would have happened.
Understood.
I'm going to find probable cause for now. What was the last name again?
Castillo.
Okay, Mr. Castillo, I'm going to find probable cause. And let me tell you, you speak English, right?
Yes, sir.
And by no means does this mean that you're guilty of this offense. This just means that there's enough to go forward now. That's all it means. You got a great lawyer who will handle the case for you. If there are always any issues, you guys can come back and reapproach and we can go from there. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond. Okay. As long as you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance, you may continue to drive.
It's eligible, Your Honor.
Great. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but just stay in contact with Owen. He will tell you when you have to come back to court. If Owen tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For now, I'm going to have you sign your release at Victoria. We'll have you get with Maddie for your bond conditions, and then you guys are free to go. Thanks. Of course.
The verdict is in for now. Judge Fleischer found probable cause, but he left the door wide open for Roberto to fight back once the video is pulled. But here is the question. Was Roberto actually evading, or was the officer just looking for an excuse to pull him over? Comment below, team prosecution or team defense? Who do you think had the better legal argument? If this case got you thinking, hit like, share this with anyone who loves courtroom drama.